we are going to continue. Sorry about that, I ran out of time. Number 19, preparations for war. I'm going to read once again England first and then the 13 colonies. England, population approximately 12 million. Manufacturing, highly developed and flourishing. Money, richest country in the world. Army, large, well-trained army plus mercenary Hessians. Leaders, many dedicated and able officers. Geography, strange land with long distance to base of supplies. The 13 colonies. Population, approximately 2.8 million. Manufacturing, practically none. Money, no money to support the war effort. Army, all volunteer forces willing to fight but poorly equipped. Leaders, few officers capable of leading. Geography, familiar land with easy access to limited amounts of supplies. Base your answer on the table above and on your knowledge of American history. Which conclusion about the American Revolutionary War is most clearly supported by information in the chart? A. England had few advantages in a war with her American colonies. B. The 13 colonies had more advantages than disadvantages upon entering the war. C. England did not believe that the 13 colonies were worth the expense of a war. D. The 13 colonies had fewer but more important advantages in the war with England. Number 20. Base your answers to the question on the map below and of your knowledge of American history. This map is Slavery in the Colonies, 1775. The map key, slaves as a proportion of total population. It shows the gray is 0 to 10%, the dots 10 to 30%, the dark gray 30 to 50%, the stripes 50 to 70%. Based on the map, what conclusion can be inferred regarding slavery in the American colonies? A. Declining by the start of the Revolutionary War. B. Concentrated in areas suitable for large plantations. C. Becoming illegal in northern colonies. D. Growing fast in the New England colonies. 21. Why did some Native Americans join with the British during the Revolutionary War? A. The British offered higher wages than the Americans. B. They believed the British would prevent movement westward by the Americans. C. They believed the British Army could train them better for battle. D. The British offered food and blankets imported from England to help during harsh winters. Number 22. What was the intended purpose of the Proclamation of 1763? A. To end the French and Indian War. B. To force colonists to become allies with Native Americans. C. To prevent further fighting with the Native Americans. D. To form an alliance with Spain against France. Number 23. Why did Native Americans prove to be a poor source of slave labor? A. They could not read or write. B. They died quickly from diseases. C. They cost too much money. D, they did not like to work. The Columbian Exchange. America to Europe, Africa, and Asia. What was given: squash, pumpkins, turkeys, peanuts, potatoes, sweet potatoes, tomatoes, beans, peppers, corn, pineapples, cocoa, vanilla, tobacco. Europe, Africa, and Asia gave this to the Americans: citrus fruits, grapes, bananas, peaches, pears, honeybees, sugarcane, onions, olives, turnips, coffee beans, grains, livestock, and diseases. What was brought to America that had a negative effect on Americans? A, turkey. B, diseases. C, sugarcane. D, vanilla. Number 25. How did the Great Compromise settle the debate between supporters of the Virginia Plan and supporters of the New Jersey Plan? A, by creating a bicameral Congress with proportional representation in the House of Representatives and equal representation in the Senate. B, by creating Congress with proportional representation in the House of Representatives and the Senate. C, by creating Congress with equal representation in the House of Representatives and proportional representation in the Senate. D, by creating Congress with equal representation in the House of Representatives and the Senate. 26. How did Shay's rebellion impact the development of North Carolina and the United States? A, by leading many people to consider the need for a stronger national government. B, by convincing people to declare independence from England. C, by leading the secession of several southern states. D, by persuading state governments to place stricter restrictions on slavery. 27. What was the role of negotiation during the debates that led to the Great Compromise at the Constitutional Convention, 1787? A, to convince non-slaveholding states to allow the extension of slavery. B, to reach an agreement as to how many representatives each state will receive in Congress. C, to determine how slaves would count in determining a state's representation and taxation. D, to prevent the establishment of a government that placed too much power with the states. Federalist 55. First, that so small a number of representatives will be an unsafe depository of public interest. Secondly, that they will not possess a proper knowledge of the local circumstances of their numerous constituents. Thirdly, that they will be taken from that class of citizens which will sympathize least with the feelings of the mass of the people, and be most likely to aim at a permanent elevation of a few on the depression of many. Fourthly, that defective as the number will be in the first instance, it will be more disproportionate by the increase of the people, and the obstacles will prevent a corresponding increase of the representatives. Number 28. Which statement reflects the historical context of this selection from the Federalist Papers? A, an era of territorial expansion. B, a conflict between the rich and the poor. C, a debate over the size of the legislative branch. D, a period of economic decline. 29. Which best explains the reason for a variety of products in different regions of the American colonies? A, family structure and education. B, political and social systems. C, geography and climate. D, national origins and culture. 30. This is a map of New England, circa 1675. Based on this map, about which statement about the geography of New England is most accurate? A, New Hampshire had the highest population density. B, rivers served as natural boundaries between the colonies. C, C, the first communities developed along rivers and coastlines. D, the Atlantic Ocean isolated the region from the rest of the colonies. Eddington Tea Party Statement excerpt. The provincial deputies of North Carolina, having resolved not to drink any more tea nor wear any more British cloth, and many ladies of this province had determined to give a memorable proof of their patriotism, and accordingly enter into the following honorable and spirited association. Letter from the Eddington Tea Party, 1774. Number 31. Which form of citizen action is best described in the statement above? A, petition. B, boycott. C, lobbying. D, picketing. Timeline of the American Revolution. 1765 Stamp Act required colonists to pay for a special mark on all of their paper items. 1765 Stamp Act Congress, colonists wrote a statement to England that protested against taxes. 1766 Declaratory Act, the king publicly and officially stated that he had the right to make any law to control the colonies. 1767 Township Revenue Act, raised money to pay the salaries of the king's colonial officials. 1770 Boston Massacre, fight between colonists and English soldiers in Boston that resulted in 5 American deaths. 1773 Tea Act, an extremely expensive tax on tea. 1773 Boston Tea Party, colonists destroyed many tons of English tea by throwing into the Boston Harbor. 1774 Intolerable Acts, a series of laws designed to punish the colonies for their protests against England. 1775 Battle of Lexington and Concord, first battle of the American Revolutionary War. 1775 Olive Branch Petition, colonial leaders wrote a formal letter to the king asking for peace, who rejected the proposal of the colonists. 1776 Declaration of Independence, official and public statement by the colonies that they were free from England, and official beginning of the American Revolutionary War. According to this timeline, this is number 32, why did colonial leaders choose to declare independence from England in 1776? A, they did not think the taxes should pay the king's officials. B, several colonists died at the Boston Massacre. C, the taxes on tea were too high. D, the king repeatedly ignored their request to treat them unfairly and treated them unfairly. 33, evaluate whether or not actions could be used. True. 33, pick true. Federalist 48, the accumulation of all powers, legislative, executive, and judiciary in the same hands, whether of one, a few, of many, or whether hereditary, self-appointed, or elective, may justly be pronounced the very definition of tyranny. 34. Which democratic ideal is the speaker making an argument for? A, popular sovereignty. B, republicanism. C, federalism. D, separation of powers. Read the passage. Charlottetown resolves excerpts. That the inhabitants of this county do meet on a certain day appointed by this committee, and having formed themselves into 9 companies, to wit, 8 for the county and 1 for the town of Charlotte, do choose the colonial and other military officers, who shall hold and exercise their several powers by virtue of this choice, independent of Great Britain and former constitution of this province. This is the Charlottetown resolves. 35. Which democratic ideal best represents the excerpts above? A, popular sovereignty. B, republicanism. C, limited government. D, states' rights. That is the end of interim 1. Thank you.